That was a loud clap. Hello, SoS'ers. In a different video, we talked about brandy. Click here to link to it. Today, we're going to break it down a bit and cover Cognac and Armagnac. It all boils down to the adage, all Cognac is brandy, but not all brandy is Cognac. I promise I'll make this make sense. Cognac is a grape brandy. It's produced the exact same way as all other brandy, but the entire process, growing grapes, fermentation, distillation, aging, bottling, all takes place in the Cognac region of France. See the fancy map? Get used to it. Now let's say our winemaking vintner friend, Carl, set up his distillery in the Cognac region of France. Under French law, Carl has to use at least 90% Ugly Blanc, Folle Blanche, and Colombard grapes.
Ugly Blanc, Folle Blanche, Colombard.
These are the requirements for a true cru Cognac. Carl then has to distill them twice in copper pot stills and age them for a minimum of 2 years in French oak barrels using wood specifically from the Limousin or Trinquois forest.
Tronchet.
Finally, Carl has to get a permit from the French government to allow him to produce Cognac, and voila! Chateau Carl is created. If you go shopping for a Cognac, you'll most likely be bewildered by all the terms on the bottle. VS, XO, VSOP, Napoleon, etc. As we just mentioned, all Cognac must be aged for a minimum of 2 years. The bare minimum qualifies it for a VS or very special label. The next level up would be VSOP or very special old pale, meaning it was aged for at least 4 years. Up another step in age and price is XO, denoting extra old. These Cognacs are aged for at least 6 years, but are usually aged up to 20 years. The term Napoleon is also used, and while equal to the 6-year minimum of XO, usually falls between VSOP and XO varieties. Finally, there's hors d'âge.
Hors d'âge.
This translates to beyond age and is generally used to market the most expensive and oldest cognacs. All these terms are assigned by a special French agency called the Bureau National Interprofessionnel du Cognac. Why? Because the French like to be special.
Oui.
Armagnac is similar to Cognac in all ways, but must be produced in the Armagnac region of France. Seeing the trend? The grapes are similar to Cognac, using the Bacco 22A, Colombard, Folle Blanche, and Ugly Blanc varieties.
Nope. I'm done with this shit.
Armagnac is, however, distilled in column stills rather than pot stills, but is still aged in oak barrels. The Armagnac region is much smaller than the Cognac region, and as such, there tends to be smaller overall yield available on the market. Armagnac also tends to be more fragrant and have a more floral taste than Cognac. So explore your taste and find out what you like. Remember, floral doesn't necessarily mean girly. Armagnac also uses the same aging and naming scale as Cognac, so there's nothing new to learn there. While your taste buds will love you if all you bought was XO or better, your wallet probably won't. The general rule being the older the vintage, the better the taste. But this doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't plenty of VS and VSOP Cognacs and Armagnacs that are also very tasty. And while you generally can't go wrong with one of the big name houses, Vassier, Remy Martin, Martel, don't just limit your choices then. Branch out and try some of the smaller labels. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. As always, explore your tastes, and if you found one you really like, let us know in the comments below so we can try it. Always drink responsibly. See you next time. Closed. I still need a glass. The term Napoleon is also used, and while equal to the 6-year minimum of XO, usually falls somewhere between VSOP and XO varieties.